Welcome to the Seriously Absurd podcast, where there are no stupid questions, only inquisitive idiots.
Hi, Zex.
Hi, Lab.
What are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about dishwashers and whether or not they are underused.
Yes, and I have opinions on this. This is a topic I added because my opinion is that they are underused, that they can be used for so many household items. I took the liberty of making a list before the podcast of all the things that I put in my dishwasher that maybe it wasn't designed for. And I have keyboard keys, parts of my vacuum, my welcome mat, flip-flops, dust filters for my PC, toothbrushes, sponges, rotary cleaning heads for a bathroom scrubber, and a greasy titanium rod.
So the thing that I find interesting about this is that you've gone in a totally different direction than I thought we were going to go for the episode. I just thought that we were going to be talking about whether or not they're underutilized for their intended purpose of washing dishes. But sure, let's do this instead. So when did you first put a non-dish item into your dishwasher, and what prompted you to do so?
Well, I first put something that was not a dish in a dishwasher when I was about 4 because I thought it would be cool, and it was, and my parents got mad at me. But once I became an adult, I did it for keyboard keys because they get, greasy and dirty, and they're quite, I have a mechanical keyboard, so you can take the keys off, then you've got this bunch of, very concave bits of injection molded plastic that you need to clean. So I thought, well, it's plastic. Many of my dishes are plastic. I can just put it in like the little silverware tray in my dishwasher and have that work.
Okay. Well, I don't know that I have ever put anything that is not a dish into the dishwasher. I've known anecdotally that you can just put an entire keyboard whole hog into the dishwasher, and
I've heard that too.
As long as you let it dry out sufficiently, supposedly it works.
Would you do it? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't do. I don't have the balls for that. Just because there's electronics, and I looked it up. Dishwashers can get up to like 170 degrees. So good enough for most plastics, not all plastics. Like rubbers will get like soft, some of them at least. PVC will get soft. So I want to say that a dishwasher is just a multi-purpose cleaning device. And we use it for dishes because dishes are the items in our house that we dirty most often because we eat off them. And obviously there's that. But anything in your house that gets dirty, that possesses similar physical properties to the dishes and silverware that your dishwasher was ostensibly designed for, should go in the dishwasher too, because it's more effective and less labor than, doing it by hand. It's like, I put a vacuum part in that was like all greasy and like it had wet matted hair in it and all sorts of crap. And it cleaned it out with zero effort on my part. Whereas if I were to do that by hand, as I had done many times in the past, it would have been, 20 minutes of work, getting all the little nooks and crannies out. So I think there's a real opportunity here. I also did say toothbrushes, and I should clarify, not toothbrushes that I use for my teeth, toothbrushes that I use for cleaning parts of my computer. That's an important distinction to make, I think. Because they're just like leave detergent or whatever. Probably taste bad. I guess it wouldn't, because it's your dish.
Right.
You eat off the stuff that goes in there anyways.
Yeah.
Now I'm re-examining my own prejudices.
So you mentioned flip-flops.
Yes. So I have the same pair of flip-flops, and I had them for years, and they sort of get, dirty with foot detritus. So I just put them in the dishwasher.
Okay. Are you not concerned at all about residual germs or bacteria from your footwear lingering in the dishwasher? Or do you believe that it gets hot enough in there that all of that should be fully destroyed?
I think that's part of the the utility of a dishwasher in the first place, because you're putting your dirty dishes on it that have, bacteria from your mouth and your hands and that sort of thing on these dishes and silverware, and then those are essentially sanitized for you by sending a prolonged period both under the detergent and under, a very hot environment that kills all that bacteria. So I think you're set. Do you not think that?
I'm well, I'll be honest. I don't know that I have really considered it from this perspective before.
You didn't even know what this podcast was going to be about.
I thought it was going to be about dishes and dishwashers, really. I thought, and for what it's worth, my own perspective there is that yes, dishwashers are underutilized for dishes.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that too. Like, do you pre-wash your dishes?
Not really. I will, try to make sure that there aren't any large chunks of food still stuck to the plate, because that will inevitably clog the filter in the dishwasher, and it's kind of gross to deal with that.
See, I don't have a filter in my dishwasher. I thought I did because I thought all what dishwashers did. But what I actually have is like a garbage disposal. So it's like spinning blades that chop up anything that gets into the drain, and it flushes the same way a garbage disposal would.
Yeah, it's
So
actually
maybe, yeah,
it's somewhat common for dishwashers to drain into the garbage disposal of the adjacent sink.
yeah, mine does. Although it doesn't use the same garbage disposal, like it doesn't
Right.
use the same motor and that sort of thing, but it does do that. So maybe if you have a filter, the evangelizing that I'm doing about what you should put in your dishwasher is less valid. So you should keep that in mind. But like when I have like, I don't know, pancakes or whatever and there's syrup all over it, I barely even rinse it. I just put it in there and it comes out clean as ever.
Interesting.
So I don't
Now,
think a pre-wash is necessary.
there are some additional things to consider. What type of detergent do you use when you are cleaning non-dishes?
I use the same detergent, and I can say the box from across the room. It's called Finish Platinum or whatever. They should sponsor us because I love them. And, it works extremely well. It works just as well at cleaning any of the items I listed as they do at cleaning actual dishes. It's just detergent, so I think it applies equally. I don't put rinse aid in. That's one thing I don't do.
I don't know enough about the chemistry of detergent to know if there is a substantial difference between dish detergent and like laundry detergent, and whether or not one would be better suited than the other for a particular type of cleaning task. Although this does
Right.
actually raise a question: would you put the keys from your keyboard into a washing machine?
Uh, Not before I put them in a dishwasher. Because the dishwasher is meant for cleaning, plastic, ceramic, metal, impermeable components, not
Hmm.
fabrics, not stuff that absorbs water and thusly detergent, and not something that needs to tumble things to get them thoroughly, integrated into the wash the way a washing machine works. So I wouldn't do that. I do think, though, if I did do it, it would work because it is detergent. It removes grease, it removes grime, it removes dirt, which is exactly the same dirt in my shirt as there is in my keyboard. So I think in that sense it would be the same. Although they might get a little bit dinged up in the wash.
Right.
I wonder if they'd be brighter. Like how you get like color enhancing or like color safe bleach that you can put in the washing machine. Could I
Right.
improve the luster and shine and color of my
Well,
keyboard?
this is what I'm wondering is when I say that I don't know enough about the chemistry of either type of detergent, is there potentially an untapped market, excuse me, an untapped market for general cleaning uh, detergents for use in a dishwasher, but not for use with dishes?
That's a good question. I don't think so because it's the same sort of material. It's plastic. Maybe you can make the case that there are dishwashers and dishwasher detergent that will be formulated to work at a lower temperature, so you don't have to worry about melting stuff. Because, like I 3D print a lot of stuff, and that's out of PLA. and that stuff will melt at a very low temperature. So if I put that in the dishwasher, it would probably disintegrate. So that's something to take into account. But just like your normal ABS plastic, your normal, melamine or whatever that resin is called, I think it's the same stuff. It's just a surfactant. Bonds to the
Well,
grease, bonds to the water, washes away.
there's different. I mean, there is a, I guess, a temperature gradient inside the dishwasher. It is hotter at the bottom near the heating element than it is at the top.
Is it?
Oh, yes, significantly. If you put
Maybe,
plastic on the bottom rack, it will almost certainly melt. But if you put plastic on the top rack, it will not.
is it not being assaulted with the same streams of water at the same temperature?
No. Well, I mean, it is the same stream of water, but it is much hotter at the bottom of the dishwasher than it is at the top.
The You're not submerging your dishes, are you?
Well,
It doesn't fill up that much. They use like 4 gallons of water.
the bottom of the dishwasher will fill with a couple inches of water.
Yeah, but it won't like be affecting your dishes. That's just like the reservoir.
All I know
It's
is
not like
from my
filling up
own
above that bottom rack.
personal experience with plastic cups and plates and bowls. If they are put on the bottom rack, they melt. If they're put on the top rack, they're fine.
Does your dishwasher have a secondary spinning shower head thing for the top rack? Because mine does.
I
guess-
don't
do-
know.
You don't know that offhand?
I don't know offhand if it does, but this is the behavior. The melting of the plastic behavior is something that I have known since I was a kid, with every dishwasher that I have ever used.
I have never experienced that before. I'm coming from two different worlds. So I have, two sprayers in my dishwasher, one for the bottom rack, one for the top rack, and they stream the same, from the same reservoir of water at ostensibly the same temperature. So I've never encountered any problem with that. Now I have to test it. I have to put like some solo cups in various points in my washer and ruin it comprehensively.
Yeah, I would strongly recommend against that.
Well, so I want to get back to the topic of putting stuff in your dishwasher that's not a dish, that's not, kitchenware. So, would you do it on my advice?
I'm currently running through a mental list of things that I might actually put into a dishwasher.
Sponges. Sponges are a common one.
So my preferred way to clean a sponge is to soak a little bit of water into it and then put it in the microwave for 10, 15 seconds. It'll get real hot and it'll kill just about anything that's in there.
That's interesting. I've heard that before, but I've never really thought about how it would work. But I think putting it in the dishwasher would be the same thing. You're saturating it with extremely hot water, and it's also detergent, which has the added benefit of being detergent and helping get the grease out.
Yeah, that is a valid point, and I'm just really thinking now, like all the little things that I might want to. Would you ever put a cat's litter box into your dishwasher?
After emptying it, first of all, I think that's a given. And after, cleaning up all the solid material to where it was like just stains or stuff that I couldn't see and not a lot of fine, not a lot of turds or whatever in there, then yes, I would. You know what
And
I might
would
do
you-
after is run it empty.
That was going to be my next question, is would you
Yeah.
do another load of things that don't go in your mouth after doing the litter box? Okay, so I'm thinking
I haven't done that before,
other
like with
things.
toothbrushes and sponges and, cleaning heads and keyboard keys and vacuum parts. I have not done that. But a litter box seems to be in a different category.
But I mean, like you were saying before, it gets hot enough to kill all of the things, so
Right, so it will be, sterilized cat shit, but it will still be cat shit. So
That's fair.
I need to make sure that there's not any, even the finest residue. Because, okay, I'll admit that my keyboard keys, even if they're dirty and greasy and gross or whatever, if you gave me $10, I'd probably lick my keyboard and not really think much of it because it's just where I put my hands. And usually my hands are pretty clean. So that'd be fine. How much would it cost to have you, lick your cat's litter box with cat shit in it? A lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
I don't think this is that kind of podcast.
it's a would you rather podcast. It's would you rather use your dishwasher properly, or would you rather pervert it into all sorts of crazy things? And
Actually, on
I
the
think,
subject of perversion, one
oh
thing
my,
that I have used a dishwasher for is cleaning sex toys.
that makes sense. But that has the same issue with it. If there's cat shit in the litter box, what if you're cleaning, a sex toy that went up your rear end? There could be the same kind of substance on that, and it would pose the same hazard. Did you run the dishwasher empty after cleaning that out? If you did,
Well, there were not any of those sex toys involved, so no, it was not run
okay,
empty after that. However,
okay,
if there had been, maybe.
yeah. I mean, it seems like the right place to put a sex toy is in the dishwasher to clean, as long
Well,
as
I
it's
mean,
of, like an appropriate material.
it's the secondary right place to put a sex toy.
Okay, well, of course, the right place is the trash because you're a good Christian man. But after, I love that hearty laugh. You know too much. But yes, after that, in the dishwasher. Okay, while we're talking about doing things that maybe I wouldn't do in the dishwasher, or that I have not done in the dishwasher, while researching for this podcast, when I say research, I mean like 5 seconds of Googling, I learned that there's a dish where you make salmon in the dishwasher. You wrap salmon cuts or fillets or whatever in tinfoil, and you put it in the dishwasher to cook it. And then
I've heard about this. I've heard about using dishwasher to cook things because it gets to like the right enough temperature that you could use it to cook things, but
why? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe if you're in some sort of weird form of poverty where you have a dishwasher that works, but for some reason you don't have a stove or oven or microwave, which would be an interesting situation to be in. And I'd, wonder a little bit about your priorities with your money. But if that was the case, you probably could do it in a pinch. But how much variation do you think, between like your dishwasher and my dishwasher in terms of what temperatures are going to get up there?
Honestly, I don't know, because one of the things that I think one of the things that is important here that is not really disclosed or understood is what temperatures the dishwashers are actually getting to. Like when you're talking about cooking food, you have an oven and you turn the oven to 350 and it gets to 350. But the dishwasher, there's no temperature indicator on my dishwasher. I don't have a way of saying, please make sure that my dishes all reach above boiling or whatever.
Well, yeah. And you were just talking about how, apparently, unbeknownst to me, the temperature within the dishwasher changes depending on where in the dishwasher you are. So do you put it in the bottom rack or the top rack?
It's just about proximity to the heating element.
Well, same. Either way, where do you put your salmon in the dishwasher? You have to characterize the temperature variation over a cycle of your dishwasher before you cook in it. It's like modernist cuisine.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to stick to non-food items going into the dishwasher. But I am sort of academically curious about this. So if you try it, please let me know.
All right. That's a good place to end it. Making salmon in our dishwashers. I'll try it. I'll let you know. I might do a baked potato. That might be a better idea. Or, I don't know. Maybe chicken.
I leave it to your discretion.
All right. I'm not coming up with anything I like. Maybe I won't do it. But thank you, Zach.
All right. Thanks, Lab. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Seriously Absurd podcast. Please come back again next week for a discussion about handwriting.